Okay, well, here we are. J&T Marital Arts Marital Arts podcast. Sitting outside our camper.
Our camper, Spearfish, South Dakota, day 4.
Day 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Can you hear the cows in the background and the birds?
It's terrific.
Cows
and the water heater.
Our water heater?
Should I go turn that off?
Yeah, you could turn that off.
Yeah, I'll go do that.
So from our vantage point, we have quite the landscape view of the entire mountainscape around us. It's like we're in the middle of it's like we're sitting in a caldera with all these mountains around us. And I was out today, day 4, on the side-by-side up in the hills.
Well, how did it start out though first? First we had a few matters of business to take care of.
You had to hit the AT&T store and I had to up my unlimited plan. Mm-hmm. So I have an unlimited data plan that is 15 gigabytes. So unlimited, full unlimited. I've been paying for it. It's 15 gigabytes.
Yep.
And you
ran out of your unlimited plan.
So, and then when I went in there, the guy says, well, I can upgrade you to ultimate unlimited. And I go, let's just call it 30 gigabytes. Let's not call it ultimate unlimited.
Yeah.
They have unlimited and ultimate unlimited, and that kind of stuff drives me crazy. I've said, so that's 15 gigabytes unlimited, and ultimate unlimited is 30. So why don't you just call it double unlimited?
Oh yeah, let's say that's like to infinity and beyond.
Well, why don't we call it infinite unlimited?
Yeah.
It's 30 gigs. I mean, holy cow. You know, if I wanted to, I could burn that up in one day.
Oh yeah, you could.
I mean, come on, jeez.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's for my hotspot, and I had a very important meeting to do this morning, and that was at 10 o'clock. So I went in the AT&T store at 9 o'clock, got my plan upgraded to Ultimate Unlimited. Yes.
Yeah.
So 30 gigs. And then we ran to Sturgis, South Dakota. Went to the Sturgis Coffee Company.
They do a great job there.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Actually, good coffee. Good.
It is.
Good drinks.
And they're roasting it. We talked about that in the last podcast.
Yeah, they were roasting this morning.
Yeah.
Which they're at a certain point. There's a point of roasting where it smells like it's. Well, it might have been pretty hot, but they were actively roasting when we showed up.
Yeah, fresh roasted is really good. You gotta let it sit for a few days, but it's really good.
Their roaster is right in there. I didn't go in. Oh, why am I yawning? Well, it is sunset.
Because it was a long day. I mean, you drove around quite a bit.
It was a long day. Okay. So, I don't know. So it's a pseudo vacation. We're still doing work while we're here. But, just being in a new location can really help things to change things up. And for me, now we haven't really, well, we kind of have formally discussed what's all going to be on this podcast, but it's mainly to, we're both in business individually, together, obviously in life together. Life together as a married couple is like business in a lot of ways.
Yep.
And, I got a massage today, which was all the way at the end of the day. So first of all, maybe I should start from the beginning too. So I was accompanying you. I was intending on doing some work on my computer, and the day just slipped by. And that's hard for me. Like it's a Monday, and Mondays are typically my day where I'm doing a lot.
Monday's the day.
Is the day.
Yeah.
And so to not do, not my usual stuff, but to not do anything on the computer, and I mean, I say on the computer, like all my business is done on the computer other than meetings or when we hold an event or something. That was really tough. I still have to do stuff. So anyways, we went to Sturgis. We knew that we were going to pick up the side-by-side. We had planned to, we'd already reserved it for Tuesday, tomorrow, but
Yeah.
you're like, we extended our stay here, and you're like, well, I'd like to have it the whole week. And
Well, here's the thing.
okay.
You can drive them down the roads here. So you can drive them down the highway. You can drive them on the city streets. You cannot drive them on the interstate.
Yep.
So anywhere you want to go, you can go, except the interstate, which you don't need to because I even went between Spearfish, Deadwood, and Sturgis on it. And it was awesome because I got to take some trails right off the highway up into the Black Hills.
And that's the point, we're trying to, even though we each have things to take care of for business in between, and this is technically part of our business, we're also need to let loose.
Well, you're calling it a pseudo vacation. I call it a very vacation.
Very?
It's a very vacation, yeah.
Okay.
Very.
Okay.
Because we're
okay.
I think it's more than a pseudo vacation.
Well, it's an on-off vacation because for tax purposes, this is work.
We are working.
Yes.
We're not working for tax purposes.
Oh, God.
I'm not working for tax purposes. I'm just working. Happens to be that we are making money and evidently we'll be paying taxes on that money. So we're not working for tax purposes. That's for damn sure.
Well, maybe in our tax episode with our guest accountant or something, we'll explain that in detail. But so you picked up the side-by-side, which it's basically like a little car ATV, all-terrain vehicle, four-wheeler.
Yeah.
Just for someone who doesn't know what a side-by-side is, because it's kind of an odd name, I think.
It's a Polaris General 1000. So they can look it up online if they want.
Yeah.
It was a heck of a lot of fun.
Well, we'll also share pictures like on your Instagram and
sure, I'll gram it.
Totally. Well, we'll mark the spots where we've been, like on Instagram, not like a dog or something. We'll pin the spots that we've been and the stuff that we're talking about. So, did we talk about already like the wind down in getting here? I think we did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so, do you feel like you've settled into vacation mode, very vacation mode? Well, you were out on the General all day, so.
I don't look at life that way. You know that, but I don't look at life as, okay, now I need a vacation. I look at life like, okay, so there's an opportunity for us to go here. We came here because we have some friends here. Once we started planning this trip, we found out that my brother and his wife planned the same trip. They planned a trip out here during the same time frame without talking to them. And we ended up meeting up out here, and we went to breakfast together, and then I took their youngest son out in the side-by-side. We went up the mountain and got a little crazy, and we were jumping and hitting puddles, and it's a very impressive vehicle, the side-by-side, the Polaris General 1000. Polaris, a future sponsor of this podcast, because they want to give me a General 1000. Yeah. And with all the accoutrement, I would like it fully equipped.
Fully equipped, I think that's how
fully
they would.
Equipped.
Yeah.
And and then I want to put a turbo on it. But anyway, that's beside the point. It was incredible. The suspension is incredible. The handling was incredible. The tires, I mean, four-wheeler tires have come a heck of a long way. The thing rides like a trophy truck. It rides like a desert racer, and it's fun. So we'll go out tomorrow and you'll feel it, but it was a lot of fun. So anyway, I put probably 100 miles on it today, at least over 100 miles. And then went to town, came back here, found out you were going to a massage. We had our little talk on the phone because you texted me and said, oh, for your information, FYI, you have to do the laundry because I'm going to get a massage. And I'm like, well, you could have said, hey, could you please do the laundry come back here, get the laundry done while I'm gone, and then we'll get together and do our PC, our podcast. And yeah, so I was like, what?
You were a little miffed.
I was just about to go up another mountain.
Oh, yeah, that would be a buzzkill. And I didn't mean, I said I should have put an emoji, or yes, could you please do the laundry?
A kissy face.
Kissy face.
A heart.
A heart.
A smiley.
Yeah.
Is there an emoticon for a hand job? I'm just wondering. I don't know.
Like you could create.
Yes,
I think there are creative ways to do that.
You know, it is just a hand waving.
Yes,
like that.
That's what you mean.
Yeah.
Yes, just a wave. Like,
just a wave at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would have been great. I mean, then I would have not been so shocked, because I was like, you're lucky that I just stopped here to check my phone, because at some points on the hills you don't get signal because you're too high or you're behind or something. So anyway, yeah. And so what did I do? I came back here, got the clothes, drove back into town, went to the laundromat, stayed there for an hour and a half, and did business.
Yeah, it sounds like you had an amazing unplanned meeting.
Yes, I met with there was a husband and wife there doing their laundry. It was their last day in town. They're flying out, and their daughter lives here. And me and the guy started talking, and we were talking about business and his company, my company. Found out that we're aligned on many things in business, aligned on many manufacturing things, right? Not like we just get along and agree. So, but we can help each other in a lot of ways. And so I got a new customer, and potentially a investor in our products. So yeah, he brings a rather large company behind him. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, we talked for an hour straight. It was a lot of fun. We're yelling about the government and the stuff that's going on. We're bantering about tons of stuff, taxes, everything, business. It was really great.
I have to move. The wind's coming right on my.
Yeah, we can move. So we're at our new location.
Yeah, I was getting. Well, it's beautiful here. It's nice because it is warm during the day, and it's supposed to get a lot warmer again. But it's nice and cool at night. So you have the windows open.
Yeah, it's probably about 60 right now. We're sitting outside.
Yeah, and there was a breeze on my neck, so.
And it wasn't me.
It wasn't you. So. Yeah.
I didn't see you waving. I didn't see you waving the handy at me. I didn't see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll remember that next time. That'll be our special emoji.
Hi. Hi. I need you to do something.
So I've been having a lot of realizations already so far, and this is like this, and I even thinking about this podcast earlier today. I was like, is this something that we share and do? And I'm like, well, the point of this podcast for both of us is really to share and help other people based upon what we've learned, experienced, and so forth, in marriage in particular, and in business. And
being in business and being married.
Yes. And this last year and a half has been pretty intense for me. I'm extremely grateful. Over the COVID period, our online businesses have been more in demand, right? People have wanted to learn more about herbalism and astrology and so forth. And so I'm very grateful. So I always want to lead with that none of this is in a complaining kind of manner. And I enjoy what I do, love the people I work with. And but I didn't realize how intense it had been. And it's probably been more like 2 years, because the 2 years ago we were doing some pretty big events. For me, at least, we were doing live broadcasted events on location, recording, putting them up for later view. It was the first time I'd ever done well, not the first time, but it was the first time we've done a series like that. We'd maybe done it a couple times before that, a live, not just live like we're on a Zoom meeting, but like you have cameras up and you're broadcasting live and recording. So that was like 2 years ago, and then I remember right before COVID hit, I was planning on just kind of a lay low staycation. So I was just going to do, help questions, kind of the minimum kind of work, just to be able to like relax a bit more at home. And then the lockdown happened. And so it would have been very unwise business-wise. And then also there were so many people looking for health education and natural remedies and so forth. There was really the time to ramp up. And so we did. So in hindsight, it's really been close to 2 years that I've been running, learning a lot, putting up a lot of classes with teachers, managing stuff with thousands of students. And what I realized in hindsight that I did is, it's like, I think mountain biking analogies are really good. Martial arts analogies are really great. But biking, I think more people, whether they've mountain biked or not, but just biking in general, can relate. And when you're on new territory and you're like, oh man, there's a hill. You didn't realize the territory you're from one point to another involved a hill. And they're like, okay, it's one hill, I can get over that. And then you get to the next point and you're like, oh my gosh, there's another hill. I mean, the downhill was great, and then you're like, oh, there's another hill, I should probably keep my momentum going. And then you're like, okay, I wonder if there's any more hills. We're halfway there, so, I don't think there are any more hills. There's probably not any more hills, right? And then you keep going, you're like, oh my gosh, there's another hill.
Well, when somebody says that, they're hoping there's not another hill.
Yeah. And then you find out there is another hill, and then you're like, we're more than halfway there. We just need to keep going. And then you find there's another hill. And the point is, right, when you already have your goal, your destination marked, and you've already hit the halfway mark, and you're just going. And I did the rallying for myself several times, and I think it's really helpful. I have learned a ton, and I've learned a lot about my capabilities, and I think it's been really interesting being here now for the days that we've actually spent here: Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and now Monday. And I feel that today I was actually winding down. Like, I couldn't decide what I wanted at the coffee shop. I took the wrong direction when I would normally. I'm very aware of like the directions I'm going and what I'm putting into maps and stuff like that. Ended up going at least a half an hour in the wrong direction. and at first I was really upset with myself, and I'm like, and then so I'm having these conversations with myself.
Yeah.
And I do to call myself by name. Because John makes fun of me because I'll say John, and we're the only ones.
Yes, Tara.
Yes. And I was telling myself, okay, there must be a reason that you must need this time alone. What's the big deal, really?
Yeah, an unexpected hour can be a benefit.
Yeah, and then what I noticed is how many times in the day that I got upset at myself or frustrated, and it was only me.
Thank goodness.
And it was only me. And so I'm sharing this because it may help someone. I don't know. I realize that, like I mentioned the other day,
Nothing else is going to help you.
If nothing else, it's going to help me. And I think I used to think that vacations or time away was just really, it's a luxury, kind of like massage, which they are, but they're so necessary too. You know, getting that time away and that space away from your usual routine, your usual things, which is what makes it challenging. It's great that I have an online business and I can take it with me, but it also makes it challenging. And that winding down phase has been particularly challenging. So I don't know what the point of that it was, other than I think more than ever I've been better at
Well, what is
being
the point?
real.
What is the point? What did you end up doing after you got mad at yourself and found the direction that you needed to go, and what was the result?
Well, the result was I got half the things done that I intended to do.
That's always true, though.
But it's always true in that for the majority of my days, I am thinking I need to get these things done. And realistically, on a day where I only needed to get a couple things done, you know, like the laundry was one, and then I was going to go on my computer for a while, and I did neither of those. And then I was like, oh man.
But the laundry got done anyway.
Right.
What?
Thankfully.
What?
Well, because
What?
I actually decided to also, well, I asked you, not properly, but I asked, or I told you that it would have to be you.
Thank goodness I know how to do laundry. Huh?
Something that I noticed about myself. This might, hopefully this is helpful to someone else too, okay? You asked me a couple weeks ago, why is it that I have to get up to like a level, you only use 1 to 5, so why does it have to get to a level 4 or 5 before I decide to, like, I'm going to go do this? Like, a couple weeks ago, I just had to get out, and I said I'm going to the plant nursery, and a few days later, you're like, and I was kind of huffy, you know, not in like a rude way, but I was like, I'm going to be gone for a while, this is where I'm going, bye. And you asked me, why do you have to get to that level 4 or 5 before you do that? And I was realizing around that same time that it's not until I get to that level of frustration that I realize what I need. And so what I need to do is recognize those lower levels of cues of frustration. And this is something that's related to that I learned today. I need to not wait so long. Also, here's an example. So a couple days ago, I already knew that my neck and shoulders hurt so bad, and I know that I have to get back on track with yoga, with stuff, particularly once I get home. But I was like, okay, it's Saturday, no one's going to be open on Sunday. I started looking around, and I didn't call anyone until today. And we're in a new area, and some of them look kind of sketchy, so I actually decided to stop by some places. And Saturday, I had seen online in their online booking that they had, all of them had openings. And then one in particular that looked really good had like 2 openings this week, the whole week now that it's Monday. And I'm like, okay, I have to, when I get that inkling of what I want and what I need to speak up and do something sooner.
Well, you should look back over the things that you felt you've had to do, list them, and then put them in your schedule. Right?
Please explain more. I actually don't know what you mean by that.
Well, look back at all, like you said, you went to the plant nursery, and you went for a massage, and you went for a walk, and you went for a bike ride, and you went to a friend's house, and you went all the things you did that you needed to do. And how the other night you drank a whole bottle of wine.
Oh yeah, that's not one I'm going to repeat. Oh my God.
But put them in your schedule in intervals that will keep you at a 1 or a 2, right? Maybe even a 3. Like you said, don't get to that 4 or 5 before you decide to help your, release tension or stress or train or stretch, do yoga, whatever it is, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Glad I'm here for you.
Thank you. You know, and I'm going to put this out there because I'm sure I'm going to stop like talking to the audience. So sorry guys, I'm going to try to talk more normal.
Let's talk to me.
I'll just talk to John. I'll just talk to you. So what happened, what I realized, it's a very slippery slope. So I told this to the massage therapist that I went to today. I said, you know, she's like, and do stretches. And I'm like, I'm trying not to be like, I know,
Yeah,
you know, but I'm like,
obviously you know it.
I said,
You're like, I'm tense, I can't move.
Well, I said, the irony is I've done advanced yoga teacher training, and I know that stuff, and I know it's in, like, every time I
And that's what you would tell
reset,
someone else.
it's what I would tell someone else.
Yeah.
And what I said is, it's like, it's a total lesson in the sense that, you know, I remember teaching yoga and being like, well, you just have to take time for yourself. And it's true, but when your life and your business seem to be, I won't go far, sometimes it can seem like it's running you. You know, I have had a choice all along. And
Mm-hmm.
I would say more probably with kids, it would be much more challenging to you know.
Well, yeah, because they don't turn off.
They don't turn off. But I've allowed business to start running me, the schedule of other activities and agendas and timelines, and it seems like a good time to breathe. And what I mean by that is things are normalizing from what they were pre-COVID, but obviously still changed. They'll be forever changed, a lot of things. But it's funny, like, remember being on a roller coaster and then like you go to sleep that night and you feel like you're still on a roller coaster? Because your body has that momentum. You never had that. Okay, I think you're always in that mode, probably.
No, because my mom went on a roller coaster when she was 9 months pregnant with me. So that's a normal feeling for me.
Okay, well, for anyone else who might...
Any normal people?
Normal people.
People that had normal moms?
Yeah.
Actually, it was my dad. My dad convinced her to go.
Yeah.
And then she gave birth to me a week later.
Yep.
I mean, that's
it.
That you can't even get on a ride nowadays if you're short, you know? and she went on 9 months pregnant, and there was no restrictions.
Well, that's when they were still encouraging moms to smoke and drink.
And that was the White
stuff,
Lightning
and
in Excelsior. Yeah.
At least it was only a roller coaster for you. But so most normal people, when they've gone on a roller coaster and then you go to sleep that night, I don't know, I haven't interviewed everybody, but I would imagine it's pretty common. You feel like you're still on the roller coaster, and that that's kind of, to me, what this wind down has been. It's like you're so much in the mode. Like I was at...
You're still going.
I was explaining to the massage therapist, and I soon realized she's very experienced. And she's like, well, what kind of massage are you looking for? Like, I'm like, I do need deep tissue, but I ultimately want it to be relaxing. But some people really dig in, and then she kind of, at some point, she just interjected. She's like, this is how I do it. And what I realized is and I'm still kind of in that mode now, is I'm in such a doing, get it done kind of mode. Mm-hmm. And
can you just give me the feeling that I would get after a massage? Can I just bottle that up and take it with me?
Well, I get in my bossy mode. I've realized how...
Oh, little Miss Bossy Pants.
I know. You're excited about those ones, but... Yeah. I did get some Wranglers, so when we're riding tomorrow, I'm all protected.
Yep.
They have some stretch in them.
The great thing about the General, the Polaris General 1000 that we're driving.
Yeah.
Side by side, 4x4 with a full roll cage. It's warm in the compartment.
Mm.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I don't know if it's probably just because it's coming from the radiator.
Well, it's supposed to be hot tomorrow, so that might not be as
Oh, no,
great.
it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's not... Yeah. It just wasn't cold. Like, there's no air getting in the compartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you ever... I know you've been in business a long time, in multiple businesses, and have you... Well, I witnessed you, you know, like for example, when we went to Washington D.C., we were meeting one of my host families there, and you're like, I just got to stay in the hotel room and just rest. And I'm like, we're just going on a tour. You don't even have to do anything. And you're like, no, I really just, and I mean, we almost got into a serious fight because like I didn't understand it.
A serious argument.
Well, yeah, a serious argument, and because I didn't understand that mode.
Well,
and
first
I
of
just
all, you were
wanted-
going to hang out with Brazilian gals
Yeah.
and the mom and their daughters, and you guys were going to be speaking Portuguese the whole damn time, and it was going to be all women, and it was going to be on a freaking tour bus.
Yeah.
I ain't going on a tour bus. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not a toury guy. You know, I'll rent a car and drive around DC, but I'm not going to go on a tour bus.
Okay, so that was probably a fair, a large part
Bunch
of
of
it.
tourists.
the-
Oh, look at that. Oh, there's another thing I didn't see before. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Hey, there's something else. Look at that over there.
Okay, so were you really exhausted and wanted to?
I was exhausted, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so you can relate and.
Yes,
and
if I was, if you want to go on a tour bus tomorrow, I'll take the Polaris General 1000, and I'll go up on the mountain.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no tour bus. No,
No, we haven't done tour bus stuff.
I've never done a
I
tour
can
bus.
barely get you to stop so I can read a plaque, which I would like to do more often.
We can, you know, the great part is we
The-
could take a picture with our phones now.
But the
We could
great
take
thing
it
is
home.
I can read quickly, and if we take a picture with a phone, it feels like homework.
You know what it feels like to me when you're reading a plaque? Hold on.
Okay.
It feels like those last 3 sips of wine at the end of the meal that you take a half hour to finish. That's what it feels like.
But I just love my time with you and just want to extend the enjoyment.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I suffer so much to make you feel good.
So how, because when you,
Don't even get any acknowledgement at that. Just give me a wave. Just a little wave.
I'm waving.
Yeah, just you hit yourself in the head.
I didn't. I have hair there. I can feel where the extent of my
Oh,
hair is.
okay. They're like whiskers. Okay.
You suffer so much for me? Is
To
that what
pleasure
said?
you.
To pleasure me.
Yeah.
Do we need to go into that? What is
What?
the suffering?
It's pleasure.
The pleasure, it's a pleasure to suffer for me?
Life is suffering.
Yes. Is that,
But it's also a pleasure.
it's like sweet and sour?
Yeah.
It's
sweet.
like the
sweet
hot
and s-
pepper with strawberries?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah?
Sweet and sour chicken.
My mouth is watering now.
Yeah.
Are we going off on another big tangent?
No.
Is it? It's not.
No, I'm just
Well, I
saying
hope
stuff.
it's not
Tara,
miserable suffering too,
Tara,
John.
I'm just saying something.
Oh, you're just
I'm
saying
I'm saying
shite.
stuff. I'm into the shite.
Okay.
I had a lot of fun today.
Good.
And yeah, well, when we went to Washington, I don't remember exactly what was going on, but I know that ever since I've been with you, I've been working really hard. Yeah, you know, because we're married, and I want to support us, and I want to make sure that we have a retirement, a future, you know, that kind of stuff. I mean, I know we have a future, but I also live in the present very well, you know, so well, we were listening to a thing this morning with Bruce Lipton and Shardi DeGupta, Samanana, whatever her name was, and she said, you can't be happy tomorrow, and that, you know, that sums it up, right? You have to live in the moment, you have to be in the present, and take it as a gift because it's called a present, and you have to realize that you're not trying to be happy tomorrow, but I am building for our future, but I do it in the present, right? So that's part of what happened today. I mean, we could get into the metaphysics of all the stuff, but maybe not in this talk right now, but I mean, it was a real match today. You know, it's like the universe, it's like me and Gary, the guy I met, we swiped right, and the universe said, go to the laundromat. And younger people will get that. But, you know, I think it's swipe right.
Yeah. Maybe you're not young enough to
No.
make that reference.
Well, I hear people talk about it. I hear guys talk about it. But yeah, it was a real match. We just hit it off big time. I mean, I heard him when he was walking out the door. He's talking to his wife. man, that was awesome. That was great. I'm gonna really, you know, he was just really excited, and
Nice.
so.
Well, maybe we should share too about how it came about that we rented the General, because that was pretty unique.
Well, we saw all the side-by-sides driving around, and I was talking about it every now and then, and you were like, hey, why don't we go and see how much it is to rent one? And I'm like, you know.
You've talked about them before, though, even at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have a good system for riding at home. We don't have a good place to go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could license it and go out on the county streets and stuff, gravel roads, but they're all flat and straight and it's boring. If we got one, we'd have to come out here. We'd have to go to a place like this where, you know, once you have it registered, you know, they got a little sticker on the side that's like a little, and it's got a little tiny license plate that's really cute on the back. Yeah, I got one splot of mud on the back and it covered the entire license plate. I was like, oh no. So.
You might as well rent one. I mean, unless you already own one, but.
Right, and you said, let's go see how much it is. And I was kind of dragging my feet, and we went in, and you're like, okay, and then we decide. And then we were leaving. And you're like, well,
we had already rented it for one day.
No, we were leaving.
Oh yeah.
And you said, why don't you just rent it for a day?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. And then you're like, well, I'll pay for it. And I'm like, well, you know, you were being miserable. You were like.
I did feel terrible.
You were,
it's not that often.
You were sore.
I was sore. I was on my first few days of my cycle, and we went up in altitude. You know, sorry if that's TMI, but if you're a couple, likely one of you is going through that or has gone through that. And I've learned when I go up at altitude, and we always somehow our vacations end up on those days, and it's like, when we go up at altitude, and even 4,000 feet, that's a lot. And I've learned now that, okay, putting your body under that extra stress, and my body was unwinding, and that has a weird stress component. Yeah. So anyways, yes, I had been feeling pretty miserable.
And I was being your wonderful husband.
Yes.
I wasn't like, hey, I want to go skydiving and bungee jumping and let's go to the Alpine slide and let's go ride that jerky little sled that goes down the mountain. Goo, 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 goo. And let's go do bumper cars. And, you know, I wasn't like, hey, there's a trampoline, Tara, let's go.
I was just going to say trampoline. That would top it off. How about the water park?
Look, it's the space slingshot. Let's ride that thing, you know. Yeah, let's go to the water park. That'd be great. Oh, the water around here is a little pink.
Oh,
no, I was being your husband. I was like, I was kind of like, oh, she wants to rent a what? Yeah, you're not going on that. You're not going to want to do that. And,
not then. But I realized,
I didn't say none of that. I was thinking it. You know, you were, again, here we are. You're looking out for me, and I'm looking out for you. You're like, I know you would like that. And I'm like, I know you wouldn't.
Well, at that point.
At the point you were at, yeah.
And so we just schedule it out a couple days.
Well, I've done motorsports my entire life. I raced motocross until I was 31. I raced flat track quads. I had the lightest quad in the country, built by somebody else. And I raced flat track quads. I raced mountain bikes. I raced snowmobiles. I was snowcross. I raced snowcross. I was on the first live ESPN snowcross broadcast, and they mispronounced my name. They called me Jan Bacaloon because they thought I was a
Norski.
They thought I was a Scandinavian, and on live TV, a guy hit the guy next to him and said, his name's John Backlund, you asshole. It was like, and it was on live TV. They got in trouble for that, and so yeah, there's a little. But
granted, your name, well, Jan is usually Jan, but
it was about 80% Scandinavian racers.
Yeah.
So there was like Tony Heikkinen and people like that. I mean, they're all these names.
Yeah.
And so I've done motorsports my entire life. So not driving the Polaris General 1000, you know, future sponsor of this podcast, you know, not driving it I would be fine. I'd be just fine, you know. And I mean, we brought our mountain bikes and we haven't mountain biked hardly at all. I needed this also. I needed a little bit of break. It's great to sleep in a little bit, and it's great to go to bed early a little bit, you know. And just we're finding good coffee shops. I had a great buffalo burger today, fabulous buffalo burger. I was a little bit jealous because I make really good ones, and I was like, oh shit, I was trying to taste it and be like, what do they put in here? And so, and it was fun, and I got to sit with my nephew, my youngest nephew, we sat at the bar in the restaurant, and I said, is this your first time at the bar? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, there you go. Now you got something to brag about when you get home. Talk to your classmates or your friends.
Or just your brothers.
And he's like, I will. And, you know, I got him a buffalo burger, and, you know, we sat there and ate, and then we got waters, and we got in the side-by-side, and we went out, and, you know, it was great. It's good. It worked out perfect. And, you know, you pushing me to do it was great. And then after we had it for Tuesday, I said, well, I'm going to rent the thing for all week. And then...
Well, we extended our stay because I think it was on the way back from there. Oh, yeah, we went to Runnings so that I could get some... I only have biking pants.
Yep.
And so you're like, you should have jeans. And so we went to Runnings and got some Wranglers.
Yep.
And on the way back, I'm just, in my head, I'm going, okay, we just have a couple more days. And I was already feeling anxious, and I was like, you're like, what are you thinking? And I said, I'm thinking about extending our stay. And then we talked about it. I checked to see if our campsite
Hip
was...
Camp, future sponsor of this podcast. Hip Camp.
And we were able to extend our stay right on the app. You just go into your account and into your current booking, and you make an adjustment.
Booked it for 3 more days.
Booked it for 3 more days, and I immediately felt relief, yeah. And specifically in my neck and shoulders.
Well, and I want
huge.
that for you. And I'm really good at not doing things that I would like to do, but I'm okay with it. You know, I will get my time like this when we do stuff like this, and you know, I just want to be with you. I just want to be out with you and do stuff and see things and drop you off at the spa. So I can go out and tear up some shite in the Polaris General 1000.
Well, you know what? When I was thinking, when we first got here, and I told the massage therapist, I said, I've learned my lesson. I need to schedule the massage or whatever right away. Just do it.
Yeah.
And because what I was thinking of is, okay, if we go biking the next day, then, you know, does it cancel out the massage and all these weird things?
It can blow the massage, but you can also have a really good limber feel when you're biking and good reactions, and maybe it settles in. Maybe it's not gone, you know.
Right. But that
Nothing
was what
lasts forever.
That's what I was realizing was my own self-created problem is I'm coming up with all these if, ands, and buts rather than just going, you know what, I have the time right now, and this, I'm going to book it, I'm going to do it, that one looks good, go with my first gut instinct. Yeah. Or the one that seems aligned.
Yeah, I mean, if we didn't stay, I mean, we might die on the way home. You know, there might be a gigantic tornado or hurricane or earthquake, and Earth opens up, and we just fall right in. Okay. And on the way down, we'll be like,
at least
thank goodness I got a massage. Thank goodness I rode the Polaris General 1000.
Yep.
You know, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, right?
We've got to take a picture when we're done here. It is picturesque.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. I can do it right now.
Oh, it won't cut off the recording?
No.
Oh, awesome.
Boom! Look at that.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be great. Everybody will be like, "What happened to the sky?" Yeah, it's purple hues, pinks. There's a lot of pink. There's purple. There's orange way out there. Look at that.
It's just incredible, like how much this is. This
Dark
must
blues.
technically be foothills of the mountains because there's.
I think it's the toes.
At least the toes, because in the distance there's another mound. There's a mount, and you can see more of the wavy horizon, and you know there's just layer upon layer, where the foreground is darker, and then it gets lighter into the distance, and then there's the horizon line that is wavy since there's so much change in terrain. Apparently, Wyoming is just right over there. We're really close.
We could probably see it, and we don't even know that
I
we
think
can
so.
see it.
I was actually looking at a property that's on the other side of this mountain. I don't know if they call it a hill, Black Hills, but they
Yeah.
say you can see Wyoming, and that's only like 8 miles away as the crow flies. So that must be Wyoming, just right over there.
Yeah. I should be saying the General XP 1000 because that's what we're driving.
Okay, well, it's a good thing you finally got
The
it right.
Polaris General XP 1000. Power, power, power.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, there's ties back to Minnesota there. There's a lot of Polaris made there. It was the, yep,
Polaris and Artie Cat.
yeah.
Yeah. Started out with snowmobiles.
So it was a great day apart, wonderful coming together, and lucky for you, I processed through the majority of my stuff while we're away. You have been amazing over the years, helping me process through things, but I try not to be too dependent and on you for that. But
Well,
I do appreciate it.
You are right. You do a lot of stuff. You know, we both do a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of new things and a lot of learning and a lot of opportunity, and we just kept stacking it up, and that's the Marital Art 10 is the
rule of 11.
the rule of 11.
Yeah.
And that's 1 and 1 makes 11. That's you and me. We're not just two people. I mean, we're exponential, and we do a ton of work, and we do a ton of play, and we do a ton of stuff, and we work with a lot of people, and that's part of what we do, what we've done, what we're building. And so
Yeah. And it certainly is.
look at this guy. That whole thing was gone now.
It certainly makes it better just supporting each other.
Yeah.
You should share the picture too of that cow with the grass sticking out of her mouth. That was cute. My toes are getting cold, so
Yep. Well,
it's a good time to maybe end.
That's good.
Bye-bye.